Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am working on commissions and I will be documenting the whole process for you guys because I have not posted on this channel in so long and I'm so sorry. I have been so busy with graduating college and working on commissions and dolls throughout the summer. If you guys don't know, my commissions have been open periodically throughout the summer because I have dedicated my summer to making dolls for all of you. And so yeah, today we are starting off with 3 characters that I've been commissioned to make, which is Sarah from Obsession, Cate from Gen V, and Sienna from Terrifier, and I'm really excited to work on these. I've already made their outfits, as you can see. I'm just really excited because I don't get a lot of character commissions. Surprisingly, I get a lot of mini-me's, so I'm really excited to make these. I've also started on Sienna's eye chips, and I've already glued them in, as you can see, just to get a little head start on the whole process, and I've done the same with Cate and glued in her eye chips as well. So of course we are going to start off with sanding the faceplate, and this one is Cate's. I like to spray a bit of water before sanding just to mitigate all of the dust that floats around during this process, and then I just go in with lower grit sandpaper to really help sand off that stubborn factory makeup on the face, and also just to sand off all of the stubborn glossy factory finish that they put on the faceplates. And this part's really boring, so I'm probably going to cut down this process by a lot, but it's basically just going at it with sandpaper and trying to smooth everything out. And then this is the tan faceplate that I chose for Sarah because she does have a bit of a tanner complexion. So I'm doing the same thing here, just sanding off all of the factory makeup. And for tan faceplates, because they are a little bit darker, the sand and dust shows a lot more. So you really want to make sure you're smoothing out all of the faceplate, really going at it with the sandpaper. And here are the finished sanded faceplates, which are not that fun to look at either. So we're gonna start carving, and what I like to do is I leave the factory lipstick on because it is really hard to sand. There are so many small crevices. I just go at it with a nail drill or a Dremel, and that really helps sand off all of the remaining factory lipstick, especially because the nail drill tips are so small and can really get in there. So when I'm carving the lips, I like to draw an outline of the lip shape that I want with black watercolor pencil, and I kind of just drill within that boundary, I guess. And there's really not much to this process either. It's just me going at it with like my little drill and just kind of just shaping the lips how I see fit. I like to do this thing where I drill a little indent in the corner of the eye. I just think it's really cute. So I've been doing that lately, and I just draw an outline with black watercolor pencil as well, and then I just start drilling. And I try not to drill too much because then you see too much of like the inner part of the faceplate or wherever the mechanisms inside the head are, and so I just try to drill like a little bit just to like be subtle about it. And then to make the lips look a little bit more realistic, I like to really carve out that line that separates the top lip from the bottom lip, and I just go in with a really sharp drill bit and make sure that I'm like really getting in there with it. I press down really hard for this part, but you gotta make sure that your drill doesn't slip like that. I would just say be careful if you're doing this same technique. For the nostrils, I like to carve them out with a wood carving knife. This is just a set that I got off of Amazon, but it's really helpful for carving out nostrils. I also like to go in with a really thin nail drill bit just to make sure that the nostrils are smoothed out. And then I like to carve out, I think it's called the philtrum, which is that little indent above the top lip. I use like a really circular drill bit for this part just to like get rid of all the shiny gloss. Here, I'm just repeating everything that I did for Cate's faceplate except with Sienna's, and pretty much just doing everything that I did before, carving out the lips with my nail drill. And then of course, we are doing the exact same thing with this tan faceplate, Sarah's faceplate, drilling off that stubborn factory lipstick and then going at it with the rest of the facial features. And now on to the back plates. I just go in with 2000 grit sandpaper because there's really not much going on the back plate. It's literally just like a flat surface. So 2000 grit sandpaper usually just works for me. I just sand the back plates with it and then spray it and everything's fine usually for me. So for the eyelids, I basically do the same thing. I just sand it with 2000 grit sandpaper and it's usually fine. But for this specific commission, I don't really need to spray and seal the eyelids because I'm just going to be using nail polish, which kind of just cures on its own. So this is mainly just for helping the nail polish stick better to the eyelids because with the original glossy factory finish, the nail polish just like comes right off, doesn't really stick to it. So that's mainly just for that purpose. Now that the face plates and back plates are ready to be sprayed, I arranged them in this cardboard box in the little entryway of my house, and I sprayed them with Mr. Super Clear UV Cut Matte, which I think is the most effective. And then here I have my respirator and my goggles, and of course you also need gloves. You really need a lot of protection for this part because Mr. Super Clear is really toxic. And then while I wait for my face plates and back plates to dry, I start working on the eyelids. So for Sienna, the customer really wanted gold eyelids, so I went in with like this gold marker. And then after this part, I went in with some glittery gold nail polish just to really tie in that like sparkly gold look. For Sarah, I went in with black nail polish because I feel like her look in the movie was very goth and like dark. Yeah, there's really not much to this part. I was just painting nail polish onto the eyelids. By the way, I didn't need to do anything for Kate's eyelids because the customer just wanted like a plain look. So that's why I didn't record anything about Kate's eyelids. But here are what the eyelids look like when they're finished. I think they came out really cute and I really like the gold ones. And now we are doing falsies. So for Kate, since her hair is blonde, I went with a lighter color and then I used super glue just to really secure the lashes into the eyes. And then I use a tweezer to put the lash cluster into that little indent in the eyelids. And then I just repeat this step with all of the lash clusters until that gap is full. I usually use like 3 lash clusters per eye because that's all it can fit. Yeah, they're pretty much just fake lashes. You can get them anywhere and they're really easy to use. For Sarah, I'm using these thicker black lashes because I feel like that fits her makeup and aesthetic more. So I pretty much repeated the same process, just put the lash clusters with the super glue into that little gap between the eyelids. And then of course, same thing with Sienna's eyelids. I did the darker, thicker black lashes because her makeup was pretty heavy in the movie. Now we're going to work on Sarah's eyes, which I didn't get to finish. So what I like to do is I like to take a glue stick and then I take my hot glue gun and melt the glue stick a little bit at the end and then just stick them onto the existing eye chips. And then when they're finished drying, I just pull them out one by one, and that should give you an empty eye mechanism to work with. These are Sarah's eye chips. Shout out to Dolls by Clarity for making the bare ones. I use this diamond scrapbooking glue and then I kind of just like add a little dollop of it onto the printed eyes, and then I take these glass eye chips and just press them on really firmly to make sure that they stay intact, and then I just let these eye chips dry for a little bit before cutting them out. Here are the finished eye chips. I think they came out really cute. And so for gluing in the eye chips, I go back in with super glue and I kind of just add dollops of super glue along like the edges where the eye chips meet the little sockets in the eye mechanism. and then I just push them in really tightly to make sure they're really secure in the eyes. And then I kind of just repeat this same exact process for the rest of the eyes. You want to make sure that when you're putting in the eyes that that little spoke wheel on the left is on the left and not on the right, or else you will be putting your eyes in upside down. And here are the finished eyes for Sarah. I think they came out really cute. Thank you to Clarity for letting me use your eyes. And here is everything finished together. I think these look really cute, especially when the eyes are put into the eyelids. And now we have an intermission for washing our hair. So I like to run a really hot bath and pour a little bit of softener in the water. And then I kind of just let the wigs soak in this like really hot concoction. And I like calling it hair soup because it literally is hair soup, even though that sounds kind of gross. And so it's really hard to fit 3 wigs into my tiny sink, but I made it work. I just let them soak in the hot soup water for about 30 minutes. And when that's finished, I like to take out the wigs and just wash them and scrub them with dish soap because that helps get rid of all of the grease in the hair that's caused by, I guess, like the way they make the wigs in factories. And here is the hair drying on a towel. So our face plates are finished drying and it is time for my favorite part, which is the face ups. So I'm going to start off with Sienna's face plate. I put a little bit of this pink lip tint onto her lips. I'm going to alter this to make it look more reddish brown like it does in the movie. And then I like to do some blush for all of my dolls, even if the characters don't really have a lot of blush. I just think blush ties in the whole look together. And then to add more definition to the face, I like to go in with a little bit of like a tan color, and I kind of just brush that into like her cheeks. And I'm pretty sure Sienna has kind of a brownish eyeshadow in the movie, so I went in with some dark brown around her eyes. And I made sure not to add too much because sometimes I add too much and it looks like a hot mess, so we're gonna make sure we keep it contained. So of course, Sienna wears eyeliner with her Halloween costume, so this is what I'm adding here with my black watercolor pencil. I like to outline the wings and color them in with my black watercolor pencil, but sometimes I also go in with black acrylic paint and use a really small detail brush, but here I just felt like coloring it in with my pencil. And now we are on to the eyebrows, which I think is the most difficult part of doing a face up because it is really hard to get them even. Sometimes I still struggle with this and I've been doing this for a little over a year, so if you're also struggling, don't worry, I understand. Sienna has kind of these arched eyebrows, so I tried to mimic the shape of that. And of course she also has dark brown hair, so I'm using a dark brown watercolor pencil for this. And I kind of like to just outline the under part of the eyebrow and then go in with the hairs after. And Sienna also has these 3 golden claw marks over her eye, which I am trying to draw here with that golden acrylic marker that I used before. This camera is not focusing for some reason, so just ignore that. Now we are on to Kate's faceplate. Her makeup is really simple. It's pretty much just a natural looking kind of makeup look, so I just go in with this pink lip tint. So a little life hack, if you are getting pastel dust everywhere, I like to use a handheld vacuum because it really helps get rid of the excess dust, and I don't like when my pastels stain parts of the faceplate it's not supposed to stain, so this has been really handy for me. And now I'm doing the same thing with her blush. She has very natural looking blush, so I just went in with the pink and pretty much smoothed everything out. When I think I add too much blush, I just go in with like a tissue or like a little paper towel just to wipe off any excess, and that usually helps mute the colors a little bit. And now I'm doing the eyebrows again. Her eyebrows are a lot more straight, so I didn't do a crazy arch this time. And because she has lighter hair, I also went in with a lighter color. And as usual, I like to just go in with the outline of the eyebrow and then go in with the hairs after. This color wasn't as dark as I wanted it to be. I think it's a little bit too light, so I went in with a little bit of brown afterwards. So this customer requested that she have some light freckles, so I made a little mixture of soft pastels and water, and I kind of just dipped this fan brush in and then started spraying it everywhere. It's the most natural way to get freckles. I'm pretty sure most people know this, but if you don't, this is how to get really natural looking freckles on your doll. And then I also added eyeliner because I think Kate has a little bit of eyeliner in this outfit. I went in with my black watercolor pencil, pretty much did the same thing as I did with Sienna. I also added in some brown eyeshadow for Kate as well because she does wear a lot of brown eyeshadow, and it also helps just add a little bit more definition to the faceplate. And finally, we are working on Sarah. So I started off with her blush first. She has really dark makeup in this scene, so you'll see what I end up doing with her makeup. But I really tried to stay true to like the gothic makeup she has in this party dress. For her lipstick, I used black soft pastels. I know it looks really messy right now, but you gotta trust the process. My handheld vacuum really helps here because this dust is getting everywhere. But I basically layered on this black color with a pink color to kind of create like that dark purple lipstick she wears in the movie. And then of course she has eyeliner, so we are going to outline the shape of that and just repeat what we did with the eyeliner the other 2 times. Sarah also has really dark eye makeup in this scene, so I just added black soft pastels for her eyeshadow color. For her eyebrows, I basically just copied what her actress looks like, and I added these arched, really dark black eyebrows. And Sarah also has these 2 beauty marks on her cheeks, so I added those as well. I didn't film this part, but I drew all of the back plates with these very unique designs, and I think they came out really cute. Now everything is ready to be sprayed and sealed, so we put them in our cardboard box of doom. Once the face plates and back plates finished drying, I just laid everything out like this, and all of these dolls are now ready to be assembled. I didn't film much of this process, but for Sienna, I basically braided her little side plate and added the little gold feather charms in her braids. And I also did her pull strings. And for Sarah, I did black and purple pull string beads, which is very on theme. And I forgot to film Kate, but everything was pretty much just putting everything together and beading the pull strings. And now everyone is finished. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. I'm showing you guys Sienna first. I'm really glad that she turned out so well. She's my most complex Blythe doll I think I've ever had to make. And a lot of time and effort went into making her outfit and doing the little details for her hair. I'm really happy with the way the eyes came out as well. And here's just me going through all of her eye chips. And this is Kate. I think she came out really cool. I think she came out really accurate actually. I think the little side bangs really sold it. And I'm also really happy with how her outfit turned out. I think her eyes are also really cute and I love her freckles. And last but not least, we have Sarah. I think she came out so adorable. I think she looks so accurate. I really love her eye chips and I'm so glad I was able to make her again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys found it entertaining or helpful or anything positive. I don't think I've ever done a video like this before working on commissions specifically, so I hope this was fun to watch. And thank you guys so much for all of the support I've been receiving lately, especially on Instagram and TikTok, which you guys should totally follow me on. All of my links are going to be in the description below. I'm so sorry I've been gone for so long. I have been so busy, but I hope this video made up for it, and I hope you guys really liked watching it. Thank you guys so much again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!